Hello everyone, my name is Aiman Maulana from Pokde and today, well, originally I wanted to talk about something else as I mentioned in the last video, but I think for today, given how much a lot of people are talking about it, I figure I should talk about this thing that happened about last weekend, the first Apple store in Malaysia, which is at TRX KL. Now, I was there on the very first day, so I thought maybe I could use this opportunity to talk to the camera about the experience I had on my very first day there. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Okay, so I already knew like some time beforehand that I needed to go to TRX for the store launch itself, but I wasn't too sure exactly what's the situation, like what time exactly do I have to be there, and I only learned that like at the last minute, like on Friday night. I got a message that basically said I needed to be there by 9 o'clock in the morning. So it was kind of a bad timing for me because I was out and about on that Friday and I actually just reached home at about 11. So when I saw that message, like, oh no, I'm gonna have a bit of trouble sleeping in because I'm the kind of person who sleeps quite late, especially given my line of work. Sometimes some things just happen at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, which is like, you know, international timing, it's their daytime. So yeah, I kind of knew I wasn't gonna have that much sleep, but you know what, it doesn't happen like every day anyway. It's just once in a blue moon. So it's like, sure, why not? Okay, so pretty much set my mind, still probably gonna have to sleep about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because I know if I try to sleep earlier, I can't sleep, so it's gonna be a waste of time. So okay, time passes by, woke up about 8 o'clock in the morning, and originally I wanted to take the MRT there, but as soon as I woke up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, just look at the time, just like, you know what, I'm just gonna drive. I'm feeling a little bit lazy, and I figured drive would be kind of easy, but I did think to myself, traffic would be bad, wouldn't it? Since I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have lined up to actually see the Apple Store like in person when it opens. But I checked Google Maps, I checked Waze, and it's like, the roads are clear. I was surprised. Like, normally, like from where I'm at to TRX, it would take me about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, depending on traffic. But for this particular occasion, at about 8:15 in the morning when I checked it, it will take me about 15-16 minutes. And I was like, wow, that's really huge difference from the norm. So like, yeah, sure, that encourages me to drive even more. So okay, I drove and hope for the best because I was still telling myself there is still a chance I might still get stuck in traffic, or at least I might get stuck at the entrance of TRX because there might be a line like going into park. But to my surprise, yeah, the roads were clear and the parking was easy. There was ample amount of parking, no problem. And since it's the weekend, parking at TRX was, well, it's not cheap, but it was cheaper because if you go there on weekdays, it's like 5 ringgit an hour. On the weekends, it's 3 ringgit an hour. So like, okay, that's not so bad. So yeah, went inside, found parking within like seconds. Then I went inside, and then when I went inside, because it was still, a lot of shops weren't open yet, because most shops open at 10 o'clock in the morning for most shopping malls in Malaysia. I wasn't really expecting much, and I thought, okay, maybe this is gonna be one of those rare occasions where there will be a lot of people that will be coming in later.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
But to my own surprise, when I reached there was already a long line waiting on the first floor, which is the lowest floor of the store, Apple Store. And there was even a line that's happening like below, like on the ground floor, like it's coming from there. And I was already surprised enough. I was like, okay, so people were actually waiting. And from asking around, I learned that there were actually people waiting from the night before, like about 9 p.m., 8 p.m. So yeah. So as soon as I reached there, I tried to find a person in charge, and they briefed me on the situation where it's like, okay, so things are gonna start like slightly before 10. Well, you'll start to see things happening a little bit before that, but he cannot give an exact measure of time because, well, when it comes to like running these things, especially when certain events are happening, you gotta give a little bit of room of error just in case. So it is say just get ready a little bit before 10. So, okay, sure, no problem. So I ended up just walking around just to see each floor, like from first floor, second floor, all the way to the rooftop. Just wanted to see what's the situation like. how many people are waiting. And once I was done, I noticed that I still had quite a bit of time left. So I decided, okay, I'm just gonna find a place to sit. I'm just gonna chill, just check my phone for a bit, play some games. And once it's 9:45, I went back to the first floor. Now from there were a bunch of like people who like working at the Apple store, like you can kind of tell with the uniform. They started cheering, they started chanting, they started waving. They made a whole round around the first floor. They started like, you know, high-fiving people, all that stuff. To me, if I'm being honest, it was kind of cringe, but you know, whatever, I guess it's the culture. And to be fair, that's just me because I know a lot of people that were also cheering for them. They were more than happy to high-five them, they were more happy to cheer. And yeah, the whole thing started to get a lot more exciting. Then at about, I think like very, very shortly before 10, like they started going back into the store because they're preparing for the doors to officially open. So to my knowledge, the first person in line was a guy from China. And it's kind of funny for me because he was waiting for a very long time because obviously he was first in line. And the only thing he wanted to buy was an AirTag. And in my head, just thinking like, couldn't you just buy an AirTag somewhere else? Now, the first few people who were actually in the store were the people who were actually in the line. And then followed by me, like the people from the media. Like we actually got to go inside early. And we got a view of, well, pretty much every single floor there is like in the Apple store. So we just went inside, we pretty much just said hi to whoever that's there, took some pictures, took pictures of this whole situation, see how long of a line it was outside. And if I'm being honest, I mean, the whole store itself was very pretty. You do see a whole assortment of Apple gadgets, and some gadgets that you probably wouldn't even be able to see in other stores because, I mean, like the Apple Vision Pro, for example, right? It's really, really expensive. No one really want to buy that, and if you want to buy that, you probably have to pre-order it. But you actually get to see that in the store. But it's just, it feels like a huge statement for Apple, or I guess in this case, Apple Malaysia, to have not just such a huge store at TRX, but to have such a huge presence and being able to command such a crowd just for a simple store opening. Now, to my knowledge, there was no discounts, there were no offers whatsoever. It was just the fact that, hey, this is the first official Apple store in Malaysia. And, well, I guess technically there was a free gift in a sense. They were giving away the tote bags for free for whoever is there. I mean, while it lasted anyway. It's starting to go from selling it for enough money that you could actually get brand new AirPods for it, so you could probably buy a brand new MacBook, maybe a MacBook Pro if not a MacBook Air, for this tote bag. That was what people were selling online for. They were selling on Carousel, they were selling on Facebook Marketplace. And to me, it didn't really leave a good taste in my mouth because, I mean, it's a free gift. It's a free gift, especially for the first ever Apple store in Malaysia. It feels like, I'm not saying everyone, but a whole lot of people who were trying to sell it, it feels like we're being ungrateful. Because I feel like if someone were to give you something free, if you don't really want it, that's fine, but the least I would do is try to give it to someone else who might want it first. And unless it's like some sort of electronic gadget or something that would really have some proper use to it, some proper value to it, and you want to sell it off, sure. But this is just a tote bag, and people are selling it for a ridiculous amount. It's like, I mean, yeah, like what people were saying online, it's just basically a bunch of scalpers who are like lining up and trying to make a quick profit, which just doesn't sit well for me. But yeah, back to the Apple store. So you have like, what, 3 different floors. It's designed very beautifully. Now, I'm not really an artistic person, so I can't really say too much about how well it's being crafted and all this stuff, but one thing's for sure, the view is definitely breathtaking. But the one thing I always find interesting is that on the second floor, there is a big screen over there with some seats in it. Now, I understand that they're gonna run some sort of programs, maybe some sort of workshop or something, where they can use that big screen to teach people in a sense. But I also can't help but feel like that would be a very nice place for them to live stream like future Apple launches, Apple keynotes, be it WWDC, be it like a new iPhone launch or anything like that. Just have like the media people and whatnot to just be there and just watch it together. I think that'd be pretty fun. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. I mean, obviously I'm not in charge and I'm not really much in the know of this kind of thing. So yeah, once I was done, I took all the pictures, like some of the videos, and pretty much posted everything on Facebook and Instagram. And I figured I was done. I think the most important part, the pictures that I took, was the one with the media pass from Apple, because that was one of the most beautifully designed media passes I've ever seen or had in my life. So once I was done, I just left, and I remember I was warned by the security that you can leave, like through the third floor entrance, you can leave, but you cannot come back in. So if I want to come back in, I have to go through the line all over again, which is fine, because I was already done anyway. Left the place, immediately went to Shake Shack. Not really a fan of the burgers, if I'm being honest here. Like, it's not say it's bad, but for the prices, I'd find better elsewhere, but the ice creams were great though. And I think I left at the right time, because when I went there, the lines were still empty. But shortly after that, as I was almost done with my ice cream, the line started to really fill up. I think it's a whole bunch of other people who were also at the Apple store. They decided to grab a bite at Shake Shack. So yeah. And then shortly after that, I left home, and that was my Saturday. And that was my visit at the first ever Apple store in Malaysia. So yeah. Now I think I did like posted this on like Facebook, but you know, feel free to share what do you guys think about the first ever Apple store in Malaysia in TRX. And what do you think about seeing more Apple stores in Malaysia in the future? Like maybe in other parts of Klang Valley, or maybe even a different state, maybe like Johor, for example. I feel like Johor would be a very nice spot to have, because I feel like they have one in KL, like a central hub in a sense for the entire Klang Valley, which I think is okay enough. But if they ever wanted another one, they need to find a spot that I feel would have not just high traffic in terms of people within the country, but people who might come to Malaysia for a holiday destination. So I feel like Johor might be a nice spot to have, especially since Singapore is just, you know, across the border. So yeah, what do you guys think? And just let me know in the comments below. Just want to get a little bit of conversation. I just want to see what you guys think. And yeah, until then, I guess I'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye bye.